Long ago, in the rich and powerful Mughal Empire, there lived a great emperor named Shah Jahan. He ruled over a vast land filled with beautiful cities, busy markets, and magnificent palaces. People respected him as a strong ruler and a wise leader. Yet behind the royal crown and the grand throne, Shah Jahan was also a man with deep emotions and a heart full of love. His life was not only about power and politics. It was also about a love so strong that it would one day create one of the most beautiful wonders the world has ever seen. Shah Jahan's greatest happiness in life was his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Her real name was Arjumand Banu Begum, but after their marriage, the emperor gave her the title Mumtaz Mahal, which meant, chosen one of the palace. She was known not only for her beauty but also for her kindness, intelligence, and gentle heart. People in the palace admired her because she treated everyone with respect, from royal nobles to simple servants. Their love story began when they were still young. It is said that Shah Jahan first saw Mumtaz Mahal in a royal marketplace. The moment he saw her, he was deeply impressed by her grace and beauty. However, royal traditions meant that he had to wait several years before they could finally marry. During those years, Shah Jahan never forgot her. His feelings only grew stronger. When they finally married, their relationship became one of the most famous love stories in history. Mumtaz Mahal was not like many other royal wives who stayed quietly inside the palace. She was Shah Jahan's trusted companion. She traveled with him, advised him, and supported him in difficult times. Wherever the emperor went, she often followed. Their bond was built on trust, respect, and deep affection. The emperor valued her opinion in important matters. Even though she had no official political power, Shah Jahan often listened carefully to her advice. Mumtaz Mahal cared deeply about the people of the empire. She encouraged kindness and fairness, and many people believed she helped the emperor become a better ruler. Life in the Mughal court was full of luxury. The palaces were decorated with precious stones, gold, and fine art. Gardens filled with fountains and flowers surrounded the royal buildings. Musicians played beautiful melodies, and poets wrote elegant verses. Yet despite all this beauty and wealth, the true treasure of Shah Jahan's life was the presence of Mumtaz Mahal. Over the years, Mumtaz Mahal gave birth to many children. In fact, she had 14 children during their marriage. Even during these difficult times, she remained close to the emperor and continued to travel with him on long journeys across the empire. Her strength and devotion impressed everyone around her. But fate can sometimes be cruel, even to the most powerful rulers in the world. In the year 1631, Shah Jahan was leading a military campaign in the Deccan region of India. As usual, Mumtaz Mahal was traveling with him. During this journey, she became pregnant with their 14th child. At that time, childbirth was dangerous, and many women did not survive it. When the time came for the baby to be born, Mumtaz Mahal faced great pain and difficulty. The royal doctors tried everything they could to help her, but the situation became worse. After many long hours of struggle, she gave birth to a daughter. Sadly, her body was too weak to recover. As the emperor waited anxiously nearby, the heartbreaking news reached him. Mumtaz Mahal, the love of his life, was dying. Shah Jahan rushed to her side. The once powerful emperor, who commanded armies and ruled millions of people, could do nothing to stop the tragedy unfolding before him. He held her hand as her strength slowly faded away. Some stories say that during her final moments, Mumtaz Mahal asked Shah Jahan to promise her a few things. She wanted him to take good care of their children. She also asked him to build something beautiful in her memory, something that would remind the world of their love. Soon after, Mumtaz Mahal passed away. The loss completely shattered the emperor. Witnesses said Shah Jahan was overwhelmed with grief. For days he stayed alone, refusing to meet anyone. The joy that once filled the palace disappeared. Music stopped playing. Celebrations were cancelled. Even the royal court became quiet and heavy with sadness. It is said that after her death, Shah Jahan's hair quickly turned gray, and he seemed to age many years in a short time. The emperor who once appeared powerful and confident now carried the weight of a broken heart. But sometimes, deep pain can create something extraordinary. As time slowly passed, Shah Jahan began thinking about the promise he had made. He wanted to build a monument so beautiful that the memory of Mumtaz Mahal would live forever. It would not just be a tomb. It would be a symbol of love, loss, and devotion. He imagined a building unlike anything the world had ever seen. It would be made from shining white marble. It would stand beside a peaceful river. Its gardens would be filled with perfect symmetry, fountains, and trees. The structure would rise toward the sky with graceful domes and tall towers. To turn this dream into reality, the emperor would need thousands of skilled workers, architects, artists, and craftsmen. Precious stones would be brought from distant lands. The finest materials would be gathered from across the empire. What began as the deepest sorrow in the emperor's heart slowly started to transform into a vision of timeless beauty. A broken heart was about to create one of the greatest wonders in human history. After the heartbreaking death of Mumtaz Mahal, the life of Emperor Shah Jahan changed completely. The powerful ruler who once enjoyed music, celebrations, and royal gatherings now lived quietly with a heavy heart. The palace that had once been full of happiness felt empty without the presence of the woman he loved most. For many months, the emperor rarely appeared in public. Those close to him could see that the grief inside him was deep and real. However, Shah Jahan never forgot the promise he had made to Mumtaz Mahal during her final moments. He had promised to create something beautiful in her memory, something that would last forever and remind the world of their love. This promise slowly began to turn into a powerful vision inside the emperor's mind. He decided that he would build a magnificent monument that would honor Mumtaz Mahal and show the depth of his love. It would not be an ordinary tomb like those built for other royal figures. Instead, it would be a masterpiece of architecture, art, and beauty. The emperor wanted a structure so breathtaking that anyone who saw it would feel wonder and admiration. To begin this great project, Shah Jahan ordered the best architects, engineers, and artists from across the Mughal Empire and even from distant lands to come together. Skilled craftsmen traveled from places like Persia, Central Asia, and other regions known for their art and building techniques. The emperor gathered thousands of workers, each with a special skill that would help bring the dream to life. The chosen location for the monument was beside the peaceful Yamuna River in the city of Agra. The emperor believed this place was perfect because the river would reflect the beauty of the building like a mirror. The sound of flowing water and the calm surroundings would create a peaceful atmosphere, suitable for a memorial dedicated to love and remembrance. Construction began around the year 1632. It was a massive project unlike anything the empire had attempted before. Workers started by preparing the land and building a strong foundation. Because the building would be extremely large and heavy, the foundation had to be carefully designed so it would remain stable for centuries. Huge blocks of white marble were brought from distant quarries. These stones traveled hundreds of kilometers before reaching the construction site. Elephants and carts carried the heavy materials, and workers carefully shaped each piece. The shining white marble was chosen because it symbolized purity and beauty, qualities that reminded Shah Jahan of Mumtaz Mahal. The design of the monument was carefully planned to create perfect balance and symmetry. In the center would stand a grand building with a large dome rising high into the sky. Around the main structure would stand 4 tall towers called minarets. These towers were designed to lean slightly outward so that if an earthquake ever happened, they would fall away from the main building instead of damaging it. The building itself was decorated with incredible artistic details. Skilled artists carved delicate patterns into the marble walls. Beautiful flowers, vines, and geometric designs appeared across the surface. Other craftsmen used a special technique to place colorful gemstones into the marble. Stones such as jade, crystal, turquoise, and lapis lazuli were carefully cut and placed into the walls to form stunning images and patterns. Calligraphy artists also worked on the monument. They wrote elegant verses from the Quran across the entrances and walls of the structure. The letters were designed in such a clever way that they appeared the same size from the ground, even though they were actually larger at the top. This clever design created a perfect visual effect for anyone looking up at the building. The construction continued for many years. It required patience, skill, and enormous effort. Some historians believe that more than 20,000 workers were involved in building the monument. Day after day they worked under the sun, shaping marble, placing stones, and creating the detailed decorations that would make the structure extraordinary. Gradually the monument began to take its final shape. The large white dome rose above the skyline of Agra, shining in the sunlight. The surrounding gardens were carefully designed with long water channels and green trees. The gardens followed a style that symbolized paradise, creating a peaceful and balanced environment around the building. Inside the main chamber, a special place was prepared where the tomb of Mumtaz Mahal would rest. The room was designed with great elegance, with marble screens carved so finely that they looked almost like lace. Light entered softly through the delicate patterns, creating a calm and spiritual atmosphere. Years later, when the construction was finally completed, the world saw one of the most beautiful buildings ever created. The monument stood proudly beside the Yamuna River, glowing white in the sunlight and changing colors during different times of the day. At sunrise it appeared soft pink. In bright daylight it looked pure white. At sunset it reflected golden shades, and under the moonlight it shone like silver. This incredible monument became known as the Taj Mahal. People from across the empire and from distant lands came to see it. They admired the beauty of the structure, the peaceful gardens, and the incredible craftsmanship. Many visitors were amazed that such a magnificent building had been created because of love and loss. The Taj Mahal became more than just a tomb. It became a symbol of eternal love. It reminded people that even the deepest sorrow can inspire something beautiful and meaningful. Today, centuries later, the Taj Mahal is known as one of the greatest wonders of the world. Millions of people visit it every year to admire its beauty and hear the story behind it. And at the heart of that story is a broken heart, a promise, and a love so powerful that it created a masterpiece that will be remembered forever.